Master, you will obey me. Subscribe to ASJake Doctor Who and watch all the videos now. I had to keep his eyes open for that long, Jesus Christ. Welcome to... Are we on 4 now? I think we're on 4. Welcome to episode 4 of the ranking Doctor Who stuff series thing. You get the idea. What have we done already? We've done Sonic Screwdrivers, we've done TARDIS Interiors, we've done the Doctor's costumes. That was a long and hefty video to make. So this time around we're going to go for a bit of a smaller subject. I'm going to be ranking all of the Masters. There's 7 spots to discuss this time around, so yeah, you can see how that's a bit of a smaller topic than the costume video, which had 22 spots to talk about, so hopefully this will be a shorter one. Okay, as always, few ground rules, few things I'm going to exclude because that just always ends up happening with these things. It's only going to be Masters that I've had any real experience with, so that's basically all of the TV Masters. I've not heard any of the Big Finish stuff with James Dreyfus or Alex McQueen's Masters. I've heard the Alex McQueen Master is really good, but I'm still not going to include him because I've not heard anything from him. And like any other like expanded universe Masters or anything that I've not experienced, I'm not going to be including them. Also, no like really short Master appearances or anything. Basically stuff like the Child Master from Sound of Drums. He was in like 32 seconds of that whole episode in like a flashback scene. Not going to include him because why the hell would I rank an incarnation of the Master based on 32 seconds of his childhood? Also, I'm not going to be including Derek Jacobi. I know he was the Master on screen, but it lasted about 3 minutes. And while it was really menacing, I honestly, if I was going to include him, I could probably put him in easily in the top 3 just for those 3 minutes, because that was like pure Master. Hell yeah. But I feel like the main bulk of the Jacobi Masters era is the stuff he did with Big Finish, with the War Master box sets. I haven't heard any of them. Would really like to. It's on my bucket list. I'll get around to it one day. But I feel like I can't really judge his Master properly based on those 3 minutes. As good a 3 minutes as they were, I really can't judge him on that properly. So not going to be included in the ranking, but honourable mention to him. So worst to best, there's 7 spots. Number 7, obviously it's going to be Eric Roberts from the TV movie, The American Master, that was just camp as fuck. Not even necessarily that terrible, it's just one, I don't know, it's just kind of weird seeing the Master being played by an American. I can't really hold that against him, obviously, because Eric Roberts is American, you can't really expect him to not be American. That's probably the least of my nitpicks, really, him being American. 2, he wasn't given that good a material to work with compared to a lot of other Masters. And 3, he really camped it up a lot more than he probably should have. There's some good moments with him, but overall he was just the weakest of the televised Masters. I think most people probably agree. Number 6, we've got the Peter Pratt Geoffrey Beevers Master. I'm counting these 2 as one, by the way, the Crispy Master. I like how it's, obviously he's like the decaying corpse master, so there is also the extra creepy horror factor to it. That's one of this Master's strongest merits, and personally I like that the Peter Pratt Master, while the mask severely restricted Peter Pratt's actual acting performance, which is the reason I prefer Geoffrey Beevers over Peter Pratt. One advantage with Pratt here, yeah, Peter Pratt's mask looks a lot creepier, so in that regard I prefer it. But overall, I think I prefer the Geoffrey Beevers Master because he could actually act and perform with the makeup prosthetics on. Because obviously they changed it from Deadly Assassin by the time they got to Keeper Track, and it was a lot more actor friendly, shall we say. But yeah, I know Geoffrey Beevers himself has actually gone on to do a lot more with this particular incarnation of Big Finish as well. And yeah, Pratt Beevers, number 6. Number 5, I'm putting John Sim, probably my least favourite of the modern Masters, which is probably going to piss off some people. Guarantee it will. Good Master, I like him, but I always feel like he's a bit, I don't know, when thinking of the Masters, there's always, I mean there's obviously 4 more above him on this list, so there is that. I feel like by the Master's standards, he's actually a little bit bland in some ways. Maybe a little bit too insane at times as well. I mean, I know some Masters like Ainley were like kind of camp and a bit cheesy at times, but Sim kind of took it a little bit too far in places, although not as far as Eric Roberts' camp went. I was finding kind of middle of the road, really, in terms of the Master. He looks kind of bland. No, nothing on John Sim himself, but this, in terms of the Master, this one looks a bit bland and kind of acts a little bit bland. He did get kind of slightly unpopular opinion, but I think he does get kind of interesting in the end of time when he gets the whole flashy skull X-ray face defect and the whole shooty lightning thing. It's kind of silly and dumb, but it does make this master a little bit more interesting for me, at least. Yeah, number 5, that's where John Sim's going. Number 4, I'm putting Sacha Dhawan. I really like this master. I think the main reason he's not up higher, I think he does have the potential to go higher on the list, but because we've only seen him in about 4 episodes so far, well. So yeah, the main reason I can't put him up any higher is because I don't think we've seen quite enough of him to form a full, well-rounded opinion. But I still really like the potential that we have for this one, and what we've seen so far. I think they could go quite far with this master if they do him justice properly. Also love that they brought back the TCE, Tissue Compression Eliminator, classic master weapon throughout the 70s and 80s. Sacha Dhawan's master's got a really nice costume as well. Yeah, that's all I'll say on that one. Moving on. Alright, into the top 3, and number 3 we got Michelle Gomez's Missy. I actually surprisingly ended up liking Missy in the end. So yeah, first official canon female master, a fact that's not really got a whole lot to do with anything, to be honest. Yeah, overall I quite like Michelle Gomez's Missy / master. I just say master. Although there's one thing I wasn't too keen on, in a way, it's kind of a love-hate relationship, to be honest, between me and what they did with Missy in series 10, trying to make her actually like good. But yeah, I mean, on one hand, yeah, the Doctor and the Master did used to be old friends at one point, and they do kind of have that sort of friendship relationship sort of running through no matter which incarnations you're pairing together. Like, they've always had that. Yeah, so there is obviously that sort of friendship that's there. But I feel like going as far as they did with it in series 10 and actually making her good and back on the Doctor's side again, I don't know. It's been 3 years and I'm still not sure how I feel about that. Putting that to one side though, I think Missy was a really fantastic take on the Master, and yeah, obviously number 3 on the list. Number 2, Anthony Ainley. Probably the longest running Master we've ever had, I think. He went for like a whole decade. He's like the whole of the 80s he went for, like 1980 to 1980. Yeah, he literally went for a whole decade pretty much. Yeah, this is literally the longest running Master of the lot. I think if you're going to get anyone to replace Roger Delgado after his rather tragic death, then I think Anthony Ainley was probably the best choice they could have gone with. Obviously the Peter Pratt, Jeffrey Beavers Master to go in between Delgado and Ainley, but if we scrub that to the side for the minute, yeah, Ainley is pretty much the perfect replacement for Delgado. Bit more cheesy and campier than Delgado was, but still, you can't not like Anthony Ainley as the Master, come on. Some people even put him as number 1. Yeah, for me he's number 2, bested only by, I think you've probably guessed by now. Should I just move straight on to talking about number 1? Number 1 is the most obvious fucking choice in the world. Roger Delgado. Who else would you put as number 1 on a Master ranking list? Like, come on. The original was the best. Roger Delgado, paired with John Pertwee, best Master Doctor combo duo pair we've ever had. Change my mind, no you can't. Everything about the Roger Delgado Master is pretty much perfection. The whole hypnotic eye thing, just the look of him, his chemistry with the Third Doctor. I can't think of one bad thing this Master has ever done or brought to Doctor Who. I mean, obviously he's a villain, so he's done a lot of bad things in universe, but from the TV show standpoint, he's probably one of the best things that's ever happened to Doctor Who. Ever since I first started thinking of the Masters in a particular order of who I like the most, and then going down like this. I mean, I didn't actually sit down properly and make a proper definitive list until last night, which is where this list came from. Even still, Delgado's always been right up there, ever since I got into watching pretty much all the Masters stories. Once I had a full definitive picture of the TV Master, Delgado was pretty much straight to number 1, and to this day he's not been bested, and I don't think he ever will. So it's going to take an awful lot to knock him off his perch. The only bad thing about the Delgado Master is the fact that we never got to see his regeneration or an actual departure for him. He was meant to appear all the way up to the end of the John Pertwee era, but he just flees from the Daleks at the end of Frontier in Space. He shows up, he's like, I'm going to kill you. Oh no, wait, I better go. Runs off down the corridor. The last we see of him is the back of his head. That's it. He's just gone forever. Because of course he died in a car crash later, I think the same year or a few months later or something. Thanks, causality, I guess, for having a car crash occur that killed one of the greatest master actors of all time. No, the greatest master actor of all time. Fuck you, reality. You really stuck for that. But yeah, anyway, Delgado, absolutely the best. Yeah, he's pretty much the forever king of the masters, I'd say. And there you go, that was my... I say this all the time, but there was my incoherent thoughts about my ranking of the masters. If you agreed, leave a like. If you disagreed, leave a like anyway, because it really hurts me when people dislike my videos. I'm kidding. I mean, it is kind of annoying when someone dislikes your videos, but I mean, at the end of the day, what can you do about it? You know. Feel free to stick your own ranking of the masters in the comments, or just your favourite or top 3 perhaps, or anything. I don't know, whatever you want to do. And yeah, I'll keep you all updated whenever there's news about the fan series or the audio series or anything else to do with this channel, any other changes. I'll keep doing videos whenever I can get round to it, whatever that may be. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. I don't think I've said that yet. And yeah, have a lovely day and pray to the almighty Delgado gods, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!